Max also now says, Max says, if you haven't got enough time to talk with a woman, but you want her number, is the best cold approach in that situation a simple, can I have your number? I thought you looked great. Well, I wouldn't quite put it like that. I would more, I mean, this is just me. I'm sure maybe Michael disagrees. I would probably say, hey, listen, I just saw you look really cute. I know that you're running to get the train, or I've got to just run into that meeting in right now, but I had to come up and take my shot. How about we exchange numbers and I'll shoot you a message. And I would just go for something like that. Like I always tell clients, if it's genuinely a situation where you really haven't got time, you might as well just go for broke. Because if you get the contact details, you're in with a chance. If you leave without contact details, then there's no chance of anything happening. So you might as well try. I wouldn't put it exactly like this, but yes, you may as well try. But I don't know, Michael, what your thoughts on this would be. Maybe you wouldn't even bother because if you haven't got the time to
I mean, okay, so if we're talking about not enough time, or we're talking about 20 seconds here, or we're talking about 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, but let's say that you only have a window of 2.5 minutes, yeah?
Yeah.
So I would do the same thing. I would just go and say, excuse me, I know this is spontaneous, but I saw you, and I had to come and say, hi, I'm Michael, what is your name? And then she would say, okay, my name is Vanessa, and I can definitely say that she's in rush. What I want to do is I want to put some empathy in the conversations directly after. And that will be like, I want her to tell me what she think about things very quickly about something. Mm-hmm. And once she's answering that question, I would immediately look for keywords, see clarification on one keyword. She will just reply to me quite fast. And then I will use some very, very short empathetic tools and then say, you know what? I know that you're in rush. Let's go for coffee one day. I like the way you think there. And then you exchange numbers. So I want to inject some empathy into it. But if there is no time for that either, if you don't have that minute to do it, then there's no other chance than just saying what you just said. I think it'd be great.
Just go for broke, really. You give it a shot. Just say, hey, I had to take my shot. You look really cute. Let's exchange numbers and I'll drop you a message when you're free. And then you can maybe build something up on via message, or you can maybe get on a video call with her, which can work quite well sometimes. So yeah, I mean, definitely, it's better to try and leave with something rather than nothing. But like you said, the ideal, even if you've got a couple of minutes, is to try to sort of, as you say, inject some empathy, or to sort of generate some empathy here, right?
Yeah, because we want her to start think about something. So when she wants to tell you what she think about things, we know from science that something is triggered in her brain. Yeah, and we want that chemical reactions in the brain. That's what we want. So even if it's a very small part of it, it's still something. But if you're going to go, if you have time for it, go for it. Because I think that part will be much stronger than not doing it. But if you don't have time to do it, then you don't have any other choice then. But yeah.
So let's just restate that, because I think this is a really, really key in terms of your teachings. What you're saying basically is that, or one thing that you say a lot is that when a woman tells you what she thinks about something, when she reveals that to you, that then she's getting triggered on a deeper level in terms of dopamine and these other, these responses in the mind. So that's a super key thing to do, right?
Absolutely. And it also challenging her, because most of the time we can only ask questions in the level one depth. If we're going to put, the depth of the conversation in different levels, most of the guys can only ask, questions. They're just going to lead to answers in level, in level one area. But if you go down to one step further, you're going down to the level 2 area. That is when you start think.
Yes.
And once you start think something happening when she's talking about it. But if I'm going to ask her, so for example, what do you think about Warsaw? And she just said, I think it's beautiful. I think it's exciting. I like to be here. That doesn't trigger that much. It's not until you're taking that part into depth with things happening. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So for example, just to illustrate an example, she just said, I like it. She said excited. She said beautiful. I just want to play with it. I take exciting. Or we just say, you know what? When you say exciting, what do you actually mean with that? And then you just dead quiet. Now, whatever comes from her mouth is liquid gold. Now she starts thinking about what she actually means with exciting. Not this automatic response system telling her what to say automatically. Now she cannot do that. She has to define very concrete about what she means. And that is the key of how to influence the girl. Because it's not until then things happening in the brain.
Okay, so her actually defining what she thinks about this thing, that is the thing that creates this spark, right?
Yeah, in
Okay.
conjunction that she's telling you about it. Oh,
Okay,
you know
okay.
what I
And
actually
this
mean is X, Y, and Z, and that
Okay,
is
yeah.
super powerful. Yeah,
And this is an insight that you've gained from that. There are scientific papers that back this up and that demonstrate this.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, most of the papers I've been reading is from my own university, but also from Harvard University, because they are the best in the world when it comes to to research human behavior.
Yeah.
So and I've been talking to a lot of human behavior scientists, and everyone basically agree about the same thing here.
So this is the key. This is the gold that you guys are getting watching this, because this is something that never really gets talked about on any other dating channels, is it? This very specific insight, which is get her to tell you what she thinks about things, get her to open up to you in terms of what she feels and thinks about individual topics. That is the magic secret sauce here that's going to get her hooked, or it's going to get her at least, in to spend more time with you, right? Because she's going to enjoy the feelings that she gets when she's with you.
Absolutely, because there are two ways that I used to divide it. It's like, as a person, it's like, one is the passive value thing, how you look, how you dress, how she pursue you in the first glance.
Yes,
that's the first thing. But that doesn't make that has nothing to do with how you make her feel, how that person make her feel. So how that person make her feel comes through the conversation and the conversational strength that you have.
Okay. Yeah.
You see, so just by looking good and being this high status man with a lot of money and a certain look, that part doesn't influence her in terms of how she feel about that person. You see,
yes.
The only way to influence her is by open up and start a conversation with her. That is how you influence her.
Which is why conversation skills are so important, because even if you've got a Bugatti, or even if you've got like a Lambo, or whatever it is, right, you're still ultimately going to have a conversation with her, and that's where that's where the influence happens.